Good morning guys. Welcome back to the vlog. Long time no see. So it is the beginning of May, which means it is the start of a new rotation, and I am in the cardiovascular ICU this month. So I'm on an inpatient month, which means the schedule is going to be a little rough. So it's going to be 6 days a week, 12-hour days, so 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Today is day one. It is 5:15 right now. I'm gonna get there a little bit early. The thing that's a bit different about this ICU month is that it's not the typical makeup of the team, like a attending, senior resident, multiple like interns and junior residents. It's just me and the attending, and then there is like an NP or PA, but they cover their own patients. And so there's pros and cons to just being the only resident with the attending there. Like, you have to carry all the patients and then you're writing all the notes, but then you also get to do all the procedures. So this is one of our I think our best off-service month as far as the things that we get to do and things that we get to see, but it is rougher as far as the schedule is concerned. So I'm gonna have to go back to being in bed by 9-10 o'clock so that I can get an adequate amount of sleep and then just be able to have energy throughout the day, because I'm already thinking about the nap I'm gonna take when I get out this afternoon. But anywho, I'm gonna head out now, and then I'll catch up with you guys later. Realized I did not pick up the camera a single time, not even because I was busy, but because I was just in the conference room the whole day pretty much with the attending, so there wasn't any updates to give pretty much. I kid you not, I get scam likely calls at least 7 to 10 times per day. It's getting ridiculous. Anywho, today was a good first day. I carried 10 patients today. There was a few admissions. A few patients came up from the cath lab after they got either stents placed in their heart or like balloon angioplasty. What else did I see today? That was kind of the bulk of a lot of the patients. It was after they had like a STEMI or a heart attack, and then after they go from the cath lab, they had to come to the cardiovascular ICU. Patients that are post cardiac arrest. Patients that we ended up having a couple of like holds, because our PCU, kind of like the step down unit, they're pretty much full, and so like all of the overflow comes to the CVICU, so there was kind of some holds there. So like CHF exacerbation, one was DKA with STEMI. But yeah, overall solid first day. I was so sleepy today. Oh my gosh, it just felt like the day was just sitting at a computer all day. Like, it was dragging. I had to just get up and walk around the unit for a little bit. Now it's so interesting now that I'm on the other side of things, on the inpatient side, and I have to deal with when there's not space on the unit or not space on the floor or in the PCU. It makes me think from the ED perspective, like, should this admission really take up a PCU bed? Because then that's gonna force somebody else to go to the ICU when they don't need to be in the ICU. That's gonna put more work and more burden on the people in the ICU. So it just makes you think about how important the disposition is for the patient in the ED. Do they truly need admission? Because this is then gonna have a ripple effect on the whole hospital system as far as being over capacity. Y'all, this is like the best dressing ever. Sriracha plus tahini. So I made meal prep these rice bowls over the weekend. So it has brown rice, curry chicken, some black beans, butternut squash, and some onions. Nice quick go-to meal. And then I top it with this dressing. Ooh, y'all, it has definitely been a minute. Last time I uploaded was like beginning of March. But that video was filmed in February, so it's been like 3 months since I vlogged. What have I been doing in between then, and why haven't I vlogged? I don't know, I just had no desire to pick up the camera. I just felt like I was just in my same routine of work, the ER, and I just had nothing to film, honestly. But this month it was a bit of a change being in the ICU, so I decided to pick up the camera again. Yeah, last month I was in the ED. Went on vacation, went to Mexico, my mom and my sisters. We had a great time. That was in April. The month of March, I was in the Peds ED down in Orlando. Another solid month. Now we're in May, and y'all, I have one more month of second year. In June, I'm gonna be in the ED. Then after that, July, I start my final year of residency. It's just mind-blowing that I'm already about to be in my last year and be done with my training and be an attending, practicing on my own. Wow. So if you're an intern watching this and you're about to be starting in the next couple of months, don't do anything to try to prepare. Just relax, enjoy your time. Nothing is truly gonna prepare you for the wave that you're gonna be hit with when residencies start. But a few things I will say is, number one, nobody expects you to know everything when you first start. So it's okay to ask questions. It's okay to not know things. I mean, you're literally just starting out as a doctor. The second thing is, you know, take time for yourself. You just have to make time for yourself, because residency is not going to make time for you essentially to try to do things, but you just have to fit that in there somehow. You have to be really intentional about it. And the last thing I would say is try not to just go through the motions of just getting to wherever you matched at and putting your head down and saying, oh, I'm just gonna do what I have to do and get out of here in the next 3 to 5 years. You know, try to really enjoy the moments, hang out with your co-residents, go to events, because that really makes the experience so much more enjoyable. This past week, my face just has not been kind to me. Hyperpigmentation all here, breaking out here. Why? So today's Monday. I'll go back in tomorrow, and then I'm off on Wednesday and Thursday because our program is sending us down to this conference in Orlando. It's called like Life After Residency. There's going to be certain like EM staffing companies there, essentially to meet some of the people that hire EM docs and kind of learn about the different hospital systems and what you should be looking for in compensation, and the different kind of group systems, like group practices structures, how are they made up. So that's a 2-day conference. So we all got off of work for that. I'm so happy it ended up being the month that I ended up being in the ICU, so I could have 2 free days off. I'm not really sure how other specialties are set up, but with emergency medicine, you start looking for your job post-residency, your attending job, a year before you would start. So kind of around this time, like the summer of going into your 3rd year. So I've already been looking for jobs, applying to some. It's really interesting when you start like seeing numbers as far as like money and like how many hours they expect out of you, and different things regarding what's required of a job. You realize, you know, what's important to you, what you want, what you don't want. So jobs will often require a monthly minimum amount of hours that you have to work to be considered full-time. Like this can be anywhere from 120 hours to 140 hours per month to be considered full-time. One job that I was talking to, the minimum hours they required was close to what I'm working now, and I'm like, I don't want to feel like I'm still in residency. Like it's a bit too much for me. In the grand scheme of things, it's not a crazy amount of shifts, but relative for emergency medicine, it was on the higher side. You may be thinking like a regular 9-to-5 job, you work what, 40 hours a week, so times by 4, that's 160 hours a month. So you may think, well, 120 is pretty small, but again, like with emergency medicine, you're not going to work 5 days a week because you're just going to be burnt out. And so I would say typical would be maybe around 12 to 14 shifts a month is like full time for an ER doctor, but it also depends on your shift length. So if your job only has 12-hour shifts, you're going to work less. But if they do all 8-hour shifts, which some people like because they're shorter, you're going to end up working more shifts a month to have to equal your monthly minimum hour requirements. So for me, I like a happy medium. I feel like, you know, 10 hours, 9 hours is nice. I wouldn't want all 8-hour shifts because, again, you're going to be working more shifts per month. You know, 12 hours... You know, if it's 10 12-hour shifts to get you to your 120-hour minimum, that's not bad either. And of course, you always have the flexibility to pick up more and make more if you want. So I really love that aspect as well. And And then just, you know, different structure type, like is it a 1099, are you an independent contractor or W-2 employee? Is it a CMG, which is like a management group, corporate management group, versus a small democratic group. So there's different structures to consider and just a lot of different things to consider. So it's pretty exciting that I'm now starting the process and really seeing what's out there. Good morning, guys. So yesterday I went to sleep way earlier. I went to sleep at 9:30 and I woke up feeling well rested and not as tired as yesterday. The night before, oh my gosh, I went to sleep like around 11:30 and I just woke up feeling like, wow, did I even sleep? So definitely the key to when you have to wake up early at 4:45, that's the time my alarm was set for, is to just make sure you get an adequate amount of sleep. I'm definitely still a little tired, but feel way better going to sleep early like that. This type of schedule definitely just is not sustaining on the body at all. And I know a lot of internal medicine residents, they do similar schedules, or when they're on inpatient where it's 6 days a week. A lot of surgical subspecialties, this is their normal 6 days a week, and it makes me thankful that I chose emergency medicine. Anywho, let me get the day started. And it is lunchtime. It is 12:40. So a rundown of kind of like the setup of the day. Usually the first 2 days that we get here between 5:30 to 5:45 a.m. I get sign out, and then rounds start at 7 a.m. Usually lasts for like an hour. And then after that, I'm putting in all the orders from rounds. I'm finishing all my notes. Today I had 12 patients. Yesterday I had 10 patients. I'm doing all my downgrades. Like for example, if a patient was initially in the ICU, but now they're more stable, you can downgrade them to the regular medical floor. So I'm making sure I'm doing all that. Following up on the plans for today, checking in on patients, making sure they're okay. Pretty much like responding to any concerns that the nurses have. So that's pretty much my day all day. And then some patients will come down post-op, whether they're a vascular patient or a CT surgery patient. I don't follow the CT surgery patients, just vascular patients. And then like any patients that come back from the cath lab, we'll go see how they're doing when they get to the unit. So yeah, it is now lunchtime. Do y'all see the time? 7:34. Remember I mentioned earlier, oh my gosh, I mentioned earlier sign outs at 6 p.m. I'm getting out super late because at the last minute I ended up doing a procedure. Had to do a thoracentesis on a patient that had a pleural effusion. I'm walking by the ER and I'm so happy I'm not dealing with that. There's like 5 ambulances lined up right now, Lord. But I am off for the next 2 days, going down to Orlando for the Life After Residency conference. Just got home. I've had this salmon in the fridge for the past few days. I did not want it to go bad, so I'm gonna be gone until Friday, so I went ahead and seasoned that. I'm gonna have some green beans with it. I have some sweet potatoes, but I don't feel like baking it, so I'm just gonna do some salmon and green beans tonight.
This is your two-handed knot, so your tail will be a little bit longer, so.
All right, y'all, I'm going back to the basics. So typically, like when you do sutures, when you're getting ready to tie the suture, you'll do an instrument tie, meaning you'll use like your needle driver, and that's how you tie the knot. You also need to know how to do like tie sutures without the instrument, so kind of just like a hand tie. Oftentimes when this comes into play is certain procedures where you're like attaching some kind of catheter or tube to something, like a chest tube or like a thoracentesis today. You just need to do a quick freehand, two-hand kind of tie. And I always use the instrument, but I need to know how to do the single hand tie. That's why I'm just refreshing a bit. Just put up a little YouTube video. I have this little suture kit that I used in med school, and I happen to have like some handy sutures right here and everything I need. I'm not gonna need the instrument because I'm gonna be doing a single hand tie.
And place your instrument on first. So I have the needle side
hand, then you will need your index finger. Notice how my index finger is free. So I'm going to put this over, grab the suture, and go through again. And now notice we want to...
All right, I got it. It's very hard to show, first of all, because this is a black thin thread and just the angle. But you kind of hold your hand like this, these 3 fingers right here, and grasp it this way. Your index finger is going to be out, thumb comes through, and then it's like through a hole. And then see, it's this angle, you can't even see anything, but then you bring it out this way, and bam, there is your knot. Literally all it took was just me sitting down and watching a video and taking the time to learn it. Oh boy. Ended up making the sweet potato actually. All right guys, I am ready to hit the road. It is Wednesday. I'm heading down to Orlando for the conference. I'm actually carpooling with some of my co-residents for the trip down there. I got my little Biggs weekender bag right here. Not sure if I'm going to vlog while I'm there, but if not, I'll see y'all in the next couple days and I'll update you on how the conference went. Conference day 2 has come to a close. So day 2 of the conference was pretty good. Just finished up, but it was super informative. Overall, a really good day of different talks from different guest speakers that we had. I ran into one of my classmates from med school. So yeah, one of my classmates from med school, it was nice seeing her. She's actually in emergency medicine as well down here in Florida. This conference was specifically for EM residents in Florida. So yeah, overall a good 2 days. We're about to hit the road and head back to Gainesville, and then work resumes tomorrow. Good morning. It's the next day, another early day. It is 5:32, heading into the ICU. I'm really hoping the patient list is not long. Really, after like you learn your patients, the day-to-day is pretty easy, but if you then, I've been gone for 2 days, so it could be a completely different new list. So potentially I could be learning like 10 to 15 new patients. So hopefully there is not too many new patients on the list this morning. All right, we are done with rounds. It is 8:30. Came down to have some breakfast. Actually get to eat free here at the cafeteria, which is really nice and convenient. But I ended up having 11 patients this morning, 13 of which were new. Thankfully, they're all pretty straightforward. A lot of them were like post-vascular patients, like carotid endarterectomies, and 4 of them are being discharged today. We have a couple coming down post-op. I think 2 or 3 coming down post-op. So it should be a pretty chill day today. Fingers crossed. I feel like the only time I update y'all is when it's time to eat. But I'm taking a little lunch break right now. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up the vlog. It's 12:45. I've been doing like these online courses because we have to renew our ACLS, BLS, and PALS training. So like there's a lot of online courses to do. So I have been using all this free time that I had to do those courses. So I'm gonna have some lunch, finish those courses, and then wait for the 2 OR cases to come down to the unit. I hope you guys enjoyed this vlog. If you did. So it's the next day, and that last clip I was wrapping up the vlog, and it's funny because as I was playing it back, I'm getting ready to edit the vlog. As I was playing it back, I see how slow of a day I was having. A slow first couple of days actually on the unit. Today that was not the case. Had a pretty sick patient that went into cardiac arrest and then got transferred to the unit after that, and she was in biventricular heart failure. Had to place an Impella for her. a very sick patient, so spent the day pretty much just focused on her and managing her. Another patient had a pretty large pleural effusion, so put a chest tube in him. But yeah, it's definitely not, obviously I knew it wasn't going to be all free time in the CVICU. It was nice to start off with kind of a slow week. Tomorrow is Sunday, it's my day off. I'm gonna use this day to do some grocery shopping, meal prep, and maybe make it to the gym. So tomorrow is the 8th. I'm gonna try to get this vlog edited tonight and then upload it tomorrow morning. If not tomorrow morning, then later in the afternoon. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this vlog. Make sure to give it a thumbs up, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.